Hello, good morning. My name is Michael Gamboa from the Computer Aided Design course. In this video, I am going to talk about three tutorials made in the SolidWorks software on the topic of fatigue. Okay, we will see three exercises in SolidWorks. One moment. Okay. And first is fatigue analysis of a landing gear. Second is okay, it's a fatigue check layout of the suspension system of a vehicle. For the last is analysis of response graph has a function of time of a basketball hoop. Okay, let's start in here. The first tutorial that we are going to talk about is called landing gears fatigue analysis. This tutorial is one of the most interesting and complex. A study of fatigue is carried out. Oh, sorry. Here, which is the most important part of the entire exercise. By carrying out the study correctly, we can see has a result color graph that shows you the level of damage suffered by the piece. And here, in fatigue study, we can see the results and damage, life, and time damage percentage. Okay, we can also see the useful life at the piece, and we can finally, by means of a graph, observe which is the point of the wool piece that suffers the most fatigue and which could fail first. For this, we can see the first graphic. It results 1 damage. Okay, we can see in color red, it's the most of the part of the piece. Okay, and in this graph we can see the life. In blue, it's the part of the piece that more time can be useful, and in color red, and this part, this part, and this point, it a part of the piece can be suffer stress and can be failed first. Okay, and in this part we can see time damage percentage with to click on it's here. We can see a graph more specifically, and we can see in the note presented the worst damage location. We can see long load range and mean stress and the cycles with work. We can analysis of this graph. It's part of the piece. Okay. In the second tutorial that was made is a basket of the suspension of a vehicle. It's here. Okay. A total of 3 studies are carried out for this exercise. We can see in this part. Okay, we realize a fatigue and statics and a final study created from scratch where fatigue is analyzed at a particular point. It is interesting to see in this piece that material is carbon steel, and we can see all the pieces are from carbon steel. We proceeded to analysis the graph presented. Okay, for this point we can check a ready static study. We can see the stress observed in this point of here is the point that more suffer of stress. The color blue is normal. Okay, we can see displacement. This part is more suffer displacement in colored orange, and strain and fatigue check. Previously, we can see this point is the most important of the piece, and we can see how the color red indic the color red, we can understand this fatigue point is more important. Okay, in this part ready fatigue study, we can see the results of damage. In color blue is the normal piece. In color green and little orange, it's the damage of the piece. The life, is it's a little interesting because we can see all the piece is color red. That's okay, no problem. And here and load factor, es el factor de carga en español. We can see the most important part is here. It's part of a suspension. We can see how this piece is suffer all the force applied. Okay. In the last tutorial made is the simplest, but interesting to observe. It deals with the basketball hoop. What happens when we apply a force at the end? Just here. Okay? For this exercise, 2 studies are performed. Ready on here and partial on here. As a result of this tutorial, 3 graphs are observed in relation to stress, displacement, and the equivalent force. We can observe how the object change and suffers stress in almost its entire area when applying a force. We analyze it ready. We can see it's alloy steel, all this piece. We can check connectors, local interaction, components. It's important to see that force applied is a 250 libras. In this part, we can see 3 graphics. and stress. Um, Almost the piece are color blue and little color green. That's okay. It's no problem. In this part and displacement, we can see the really important of the study. We can see the force are applied. Okay, one moment. The force is applied in this point of color blue on the piece. We can see here how how the material is suffer stress. For this reason, the piece it's in color red here and color blue here because suffer a deformation in this point. And in the last graphic, we can see a strain equivalent. Almost of the piece is color blue or color green. It's okay. And this is the 3 tutorials we can observe. And conclusion, with the realization of 3 materials, it was possible to understand the issue of fatigue and stress suffered by objects. On the other hand, it served as a tool to learn the use that can be given to SolidWorks software. Thanks for the time and see you later.